let me introduce you to my hiking partners this year. Tristan had 14 hikes with me this year. Of course, we always have a great time hiking and having adventures together. He's a great person to go with. Most of you will be surprised to learn that Vicky had actually 10 hikes with me this year. We have great conversations when we're out in the wild together. The person that hiked with me the second most this year was my buddy Brad. He's my Tuesday morning hiking partner, and we've had a good time getting to know each other this year. Sadie had 9 hikes with me this year. She's always up for a good adventure, and I always love having her with me. My good friend Alan, who got me back into hiking, got about 8 or 9 hikes in this year. And my buddy Ed actually got 2 hikes in with me as well this year. My friend Sarah, who originally got me on this quest, got 2 hikes in with me this year, and her husband Ira also got 2 hikes in with me this year. I started off my quest for 52 hikes with my friend Doug on New Year's Day. We hiked Mailbox, which is a brutal hike. After that, we went to my most adventurous hike of the year. It was with Tristan. We did Reflection Lakes up by Rainier. It snowed 12 inches on us that night. We had a great time hiking in, snowshoeing out. It was a hard hike coming on the way out when you fresh hike out of 12 inches of snow. But again, one of our great hikes that we did this year. The finally got it done hike with a view was Mount Tenerife. I've done it 3 times, but this is the first time I got to the top and actually had a view into the valley. The most emotional hike of the year came with the 1-year mark of Seth's passing. We had good friends join us as we did the 8 caves. The hike was an interesting hike as we got to go down below and spend time climbing through the caves. It was actually quite fun, and I think everybody had a good time, although it was a sad occasion. The hardest hike of the year was definitely Mount Hood, in my opinion. From the minute we left the truck till we stopped trying to get up the top of the mountain, there was a 40 to 50 mile an hour headwind coming directly into our face. I did my best to use Tristan as a blocker against the wind, but as we got to the top of the ski resort, we were all just too pooped to try to make a final push to the top. I doubt that anybody made it that day to the top of Mount Hood, and if they did, my hats are off to them, because this was a brutal hike. It just wore me out and made me realize I could certainly use to get in better shape. The hike with the most memories this year was Menashtash, of course. I did it 5 times this year, a couple of times with Tristan, and once with Sadie and Vicky as well. It's a place that of course reminds us of Seth, as his presence speaks loudly there. It was one of his favorite lakes. We had a great time telling stories and remembering him. We caught some fish, had a good time, had some thunder and lightning, and some good adventures. A hike with great views is McClellan Butte up on the pass. I did it this year with my friend Alan, and I'm always surprised at what great views we get from the top there if you've got a clear day. It's a lot longer hike than it looks, however, so you gotta be prepared for it. I had 2 hikes this year that were surprise hikes or more than expected hikes. One was Silver Peak that we did midsummer. It's up past the pass, and I was totally surprised by the view we had and what a great hike it was. Definitely one that I want to do again next year. The other hike that really surprised me was Mount Defiance this year. My friend Brad had been wanting to do it, and I wasn't really expecting much out of it. When we got to the point where we had some views, they were spectacular. We had a great day of sunshine. The fog had lifted earlier in the day, and we got some great views. Definitely will do that one again next year as well. The hike that would go down as my new favorite hike would definitely be Kendall Catwalk. I had never done it before, but had been wanting to do it for several years. The first time I did it with my friend Ed on Labor Day, and it was such a good time that I came back and Tristan said, "Hey, that's my dream hike." So the following weekend, we got Vicky and Sadie to join us, and we went up and did it. This hike is a 15+ mile hike with some great views. On one side you can look down to the ski resort, on the other side you can look to the east. I did the hike one time by myself and spent the night and got some spectacular views at dinner time as the sun was setting. One of my favorite hikes of the year was definitely that hike. The ability to get out and enjoy the wilderness by yourself is special. Then there's the hike that I wanted to do simply because of social media. I've seen so many pretty pictures on social media that I decided to do Snow Lake one Tuesday morning with Sadie. We got up and fought some of the forest fire smoke, but when you do get to Snow Lake, it certainly is a very beautiful lake. It was a good hike and we made Jim Lake that day as well. This brings me to the most spectacular hike of the season. We did the enchantments this weekend. Tristan and I, Ed and Easton, were planning on climbing Mount Adams, but the wind looked like it was going to be too hard. So we got a hold of our friends, Sarah and Ira, and decided to do the enchantments. This is a phenomenal hike. You start off the first 5 miles on a nice incline up to the lake. There you stop and you have a little bit of a break, you eat some food and get ready, because the next 1.25 miles is a brutal 4,000 feet elevation up into the enchantments. It is hard. When you get to the top, you take another break, and then for the next 5 miles or so, you get to hike and walk through some of the most spectacular country that I've ever seen. Absolutely gorgeous. Everybody was wowed about how beautiful it was. There just aren't enough words to describe it. Then you come back down a pretty good decline until you get to some other lakes, and then you hike out the last 4 or 5 miles. That last 4 or 5 miles is hard. Your legs are tired, your feet are sore, and you're ready to be done. We had a running joke that it was only 5.6 miles. We had so much fun on this hike that the 6 of us are looking to hopefully win the lottery next year so that we can go back into the enchantments and spend several nights there. If not, we're already planning our next great adventure for next summer for the 6 of us. We're hoping to take some sort of a overnight hiking trip someplace in the state. It may not be as epic as this one was very special, but if you ever get a chance to do the enchantments, it's well worth it. I was rushing in the end to get my hikes in because I wanted to do my 52nd hike with my friend Sarah, who originally had challenged me at the beginning of the year. We hiked into a lake up on Mount Rainier. It was the first hike all year that we actually ran into nobody all the way in and all the way out. I had a good time teasing my friend Sarah about all the mushrooms she was picking. It was a nice little lake with some great views and a good way to finish our 52nd hike of the year. I thought I'd throw in a couple encore hikes while I'm at it. I finally got to Malacca Lake after missing it 5 years ago with my friend Sadie. We saw some mountain goats. We started out with beautiful weather that day, nice and sunny, and then made it out just in time before the downpour began. You'll see that most of my pictures have sunshine in them, but the other hike that has an encore hike was Thompson Lake. Brad and I had wanted to do it all summer long, but we saved it till late in the fall. When we got to the parking lot to start at 6 o'clock in the morning, it was a torrential downpour, super duper wet. But by the time we made the lake, it had finally dried off, and although not sunny, still was a beautiful day. Well, these are just some of my special hikes from the year. In the end, I got about 57 hikes in this year, and a lot of people ask me what's my goal for next year, and I really don't have a goal. Maybe I'll shoot for 60 plus. The main thing is getting out with good friends and good family, getting to enjoy the outdoors, quieting your soul, getting to know yourself better, and taking time to reflect on life. These are the things that are important. I hope you enjoyed my 52 hikes of the year.